with the young lady to your left, because this is the new character that we don't know that much about.
Yeah.
For those of us who don't really know anything about it, could you explain how she fits into this?
Yes, of course. Well, as you know, this second season is all about a new journey. So they are coming to Latin America in search for the Book of Leaves. That's where they find this new empire, the Inca Empire, and she's a high priestess. So it's like the queen, you know. And it's very nice because I can't tell you, of course, a lot about, you know, the story, but I can tell you what she represents, which is what I like the most in my character. And we've seen like all the like intellectual stuff, wisdom in Da Vinci. Well, she is like more of a spiritual wisdom, and that's what she's representing right now. And she is also in the quest for the Book of Leaves. So that's how they like the stories merge, because they're all looking for the Book of Leaves, and she knows where the Book of Leaves is, and that's the role that she's going to play to help all of them to go for the Book of Leaves.
Carolina can't say this, but she has some outrageously fun costumes as well. She has some terrific costumes.
All I can say is that I have golden coconuts.
Oh dear.
Keep looking in the eyes. Don't look at the coconuts. Don't look at the coconuts. That's
Blake, you've got some really interesting stuff going on this season for Riario as well.
It's epic, yeah.
Starting with a bit of a sea voyage, possibly.
There's a bit of a race across the Atlantic. As Carolina was saying, I mean, one of the big thrusts of this series is, you know, there's this terrible political turmoil which we're leaving Florence in, and both Da Vinci and Riario are convinced that the only way really to settle this terrible looming spectre of war and the aftermath of the Patsy conspiracy is the Book of Leaves, this arcane compendium of forgotten knowledge. And this basically leads Da Vinci and Riario on a race across the Atlantic to get to the New World, to find the book and to appropriate it to their own side. And yeah, this is one of the main plots of the whole series. It's fun.
Possibly a continuation of your storyline with Nico as well?
Prescient. Yes, we go some interesting, I can't give too much away, but all I'll say is we have quite a few scenes together, and it goes some very interesting and unexpected places. Those scenes, yeah, there's a lot of fun to be had there.
How would you describe, since you are going with them on the journey, you know, we're definitely opposite ends, you're fighting against it, so is it like a temporary alliance where you can do whatever you can?
Do you know, our relationship in the show, I love it. I mean, it's almost the thing which defines it more than anything is its unpredictability and its mutability. So in season 1, it starts with me trying to befriend him and defend him, and then this increasing encroaching antagonism, and it ends with me trying to blow his head off with a Renaissance bazooka. So I'd like to hope we find a little more nuance in the second series. But yes, we are forced to team up in a kind of grudging alliance, and I think it's a really interesting journey where we're forced to rely upon one another physically and mentally, and I think there is a kind of grudging respect from both parties. But this alliance, I think the thing which marks it again is the fact we never know how much we're playing one another. So I think you can't, you know, what you see can be deceiving. It's fun. There's a really epic journey for both characters, and they have to make some big old sacrifices and some big old decisions, and I think people will find it quite exciting.
You know, for some of us watching the show, there's always a certain suspension of disbelief in terms of watching the show and what's going on. But I can't help thinking for you guys, there has to be a suspension of disbelief when you're shooting Florence in South Wales and you're shooting Peru in South Wales. And how do you actually get yourself into this sort of proper frame of mind for playing these characters when you're shooting something that has nothing to do with where and when it's going to be?
Well, that's true. I mean, I come from Latin America. I come from South America, so I was like, how the hell are they gonna make that work? You know, like, and I'm also like defending that because I know that I've been to Machu Picchu, I've been all, you know, in those places. So I was like, that's impossible. Well, it isn't, and I have to say they did an amazing job, and they make it really easier for us as actors. You know, the costumes and the sets are the most amazing sets I've ever worked in my life. So they really make it easier because they're so talented, so good. The sets are amazing, and you're really gonna believe. And You wouldn't.
No,
I had no idea, but the locations. I mean, not only the sets, but the locations we went in Wales were amazing. Like fountains and deserts and stuff like that. You would never imagine they have that there, and they do.
There were
So
tropical rainforests we found. There were waterfalls. There were sand dunes. The only thing, I mean, the weather is slightly inclement, so they will spend a lot of money in CGI airbrushing out poor Carolina's goosebumps during the night shoots, I think.
We did a scene where I nearly was like in a hypothermical state.
You were climatised, but early on, I think you were in a real shock of the difference between the Swansea and Cleveland landscape.
So this is a revealing costume then? I mean, if you're getting goosebumps out of it,
well, there's golden polka dots.
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, at that time they wouldn't have, you know, like coats and stuff. Especially I mean, if you just go like Google and you'd see like the kind of costume they have. It's a little bit revealing. It's not, you know, like it's not aiming to be sexy.
Look at the eyes.
And not the coconuts.
How would you describe the vibe on set, given there's a lot more sort of adventure? And you guys also have some disparate storylines, right? So you're not always all together interacting, and we have new major cast members.
That's right. I mean, it's been one of the great kind of fun things of this year is, I think there's always the plan. I remember talking to David right at the beginning. He loves this kind of idea of unusual pairings, of who are two characters who will be the least likely to thrive in an unusual circumstance, and then he'll kind of thrust them together. And this whole series we see kind of separates off into different worlds. So yes, a few of us are off in the new world, and then there's Naples, and of course there's still Florence and Rome. So it's exciting seeing kind of new alliances forged and dismantled.
What do you find the most difficult thing
Getting
to
wet.
be about them? Just getting wet.
I swear, I've never done a job where I've got to say wet. It's either a river or a waterfall or a tropical rainstorm. I've never been, or it's blood. I'm either wet with blood or water this whole series. So I invested in some Egyptian cotton towels and a new hairdryer, and that was the only possible response I thought. So, preemptive strike.
2 minutes.
We have 2 minutes?
Yeah.
2 minutes.
What should we be looking for as far as season 2 in terms of what we haven't seen in season 1, or this is going to be so much more interesting or cool than what we've done?
To me, the one thing which really marks and defines this new series is every character's pushed to the breaking point. In the first series, people largely in their comfort zone. Everyone is catapulted way out of their usual environment, and they're pushed mentally and physically to breaking point. So for Riario, for example, in the first series, I think as we were saying the last time we spoke, he has all the military and financial and political support of the Vatican. He has his army around him, and now he's basically gone AWOL. He's by himself. He's a loner in a new world with people he doesn't know. So there's a real hardship to that, and I think with that, these characters being kind of propelled to breaking point, we see a new kind of emotional rawness, a new ferocity, and somehow the masks get stripped off characters, and we see what's kind of lurking beneath, and we get to glimpse into the recesses of their souls. And I think that's what's exciting, is kind of breaking characters down. I think something David Goyer is brilliant at, actually, is this kind of sense that every character has a terrible darkness. And I think that every character, it's called Da Vinci's Demons, every character in the show has their demons, and we begin to see them bubbling to the surface, and I think there are a lot of neat surprises. There's a bit of a flashback structure going on through the series as well, so we get to glimpse not only new adventures, but we get to see the kind of dark complexities that have been bubbling underneath before.
What about for the new kid on the block?
The new kid on the block. I can't
She's got a gagging order. Carolina's in a terribly difficult thing, and she's been told she can't, anything involving a character is a spoiler, which is a...
Can you even give first impressions of how, when your character even meets anyone, if it's on happier terms, if it's hostile, can you say?
Well, of course, I mean, it has both, because she is a shaman, so she has, I want it to sound really weird, but she has visions, as shamans do. So she knows she needs, help to get to the Book of Names. But she's also very aware of the threat that Al-Coruna, which is the Quechua word for white men, are to her people. Right. So it is dodgy. How would you say?
As we have to wrap up.
Goosebumps in the word dodgy. This is what Swansea has brought to you.
Yes.